Welcome to Types and Figures, a short segment heard here on EBible Fellowship designed to help students of the Bible get a deeper understanding to some of the deeper spiritual meanings found within the Bible. And today we're going to be looking at rocks. Well, that doesn't sound so exciting, does it? It's just an inanimate object, lifeless thing. But God has some deeper spiritual meaning in the word rock or rocks, as we will see very soon. Remember, whenever we read the Word of God, we have to pay close attention to everything we read, even the rocks, because God hides truth throughout the Scriptures. And we're going to see that as we look in the book of Exodus, chapter 17 and verse 5, where we read, "And the Lord said unto Moses, Go on before the people, and take with thee of the elders of Israel, and thy rod, wherewith thou smotest the river, take in thine hand, and go. Behold, I will stand before thee there upon the rock in Horeb, and thou shalt smite the rock, and there shall come water out of it, that people may drink. And Moses did so in the sight of the elders of Israel." Now, some read this account and wonder about all that glorious water, that miracle of water that gushed forth out of the rock. And by the way, there was enough water in that rock that it actually satisfied a thirsty nation. But then they fail to go beyond the historical narrative here and dig deeper into the spiritual dimension of that amazing event. Now remember, Christ had a tendency to speak in parables, and that does instruct us to always look for more spiritual depth in the things that we read in the Bible. And in this case, God Himself helps us along by expounding upon the spiritual meaning of that passage in the New Testament. If we go to 1 Corinthians chapter 10 and verse 4, we read, "And did all drink the same spiritual drink, for they drank of that spiritual rock that followed them, and that rock was Christ." In this verse, we find that fuller explanation of the Exodus Scriptures, the rock that Moses smote with his rod and gushed out a river of water to satisfy the thirst of so many. That rock, the Bible says, was a spiritual representation of Christ, the one to come that would quench the spiritual thirst of all His elect people sojourning throughout time in that barren wilderness of this world. And that is today's Types and Figures, and we certainly hope you'll be able to join us next time for another segment here on EBible Fellowship.